Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Well, just as we expected, we're opening up a little slow here. And this is the day before the holiday. Most people will not be here on Friday. There'll be a handful of people, but probably more inexperienced traders than experienced traders. But for me, this is the last day of the week. All right, let's see. I am missing something here. All right, so for you guys that are new this week, every morning I have the same process. I have my scans, I have the strategy that I trade, and I don't deviate from that. And that's one of the first things you're gonna have to establish. Once your learning is complete, is establishing a process that you open your day with, that you start your morning with, because you want to start your morning consistent. Um, what was happening to me early on was I was trying to trade and I was at work, and sometimes it gets frustrating. But what I was doing was some days I'll be rushing. Some days we'd have an activity or we may have a meeting early before the students came, and that would throw my whole schedule off for the day. And I realized that those days that I wasn't able to start my day the right way and follow my process, those were the days that I didn't do very well. And so I started saying, okay, look, if I'm going to be rushing, if I'm going to be behind, if something happened and my schedule is thrown off, then I don't trade. And I still do that today. I won't trade the open if for some reason, I get caught by a train on the way back from taking my son to school or whatever, and I get here after 8:30. Then I'm not gonna try to rush. I'll just sit back and wait and catch a secondary move or something. But and that's why I don't chase other stocks. There may be other stocks moving. Um, people bring them up all the time, but if it doesn't fit my parameters, doesn't hit my scan, I'm not gonna waste time trading it, or looking for it. I'm gonna stick to my process, and that's important. That's very, very important. All right, so let's see. So I do have and in the day trading class, I do talk about process. And there's a lot that I do before I even come on here. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna eat. I take my son to school. So I go through a whole routine before I even sit down to, start looking at stocks. So that, so there's a lot of moving parts. All right, so we can look at the market this morning. Let's bring that up. Let's bring it up here. Not SQ. So we can look at the market this morning. It kind of crept up overnight. Still creeping up here. We're pulling back a little bit now. But, with the market being up, and it's over yesterday's close price, which is down here somewhere, we have a good setup for a recovery day. Or it may sit around and not really do much at all. It just depends on, how many players we have in today and where they want to take it. No, this isn't the right chart. Let's take a look at the daily chart. This is still not a daily chart. Why can't I get a daily chart? There we go. Add the right study set. Then we'll be in business. All right, so you see where we are right now. This is where we closed yesterday. And now, this morning we're up we're up over this 260, 261. We're way up here. We're in between, we're in this channel right here. So it's poised to open with the gap up. Yesterday we gapped down. This morning looks like we're trying to gap up. So if the market is going to open strong and we're going to move up, that's going to limit the possibilities for me. Now, I make more money when the market's going down. And it's easier for the market to go down than it is to go up, which is why a lot of us guys, really focus on short selling because, overall it's easier for a stock to go down than to go up. Now, that doesn't mean I won't trade a stock to the long side. Now, I will do that, but I would rather short it. I guess that's my secret way of taking the easy way out, but, I'm going to have an edge when I do it. You can see all the stocks here this morning on our watch list, our scan, are gapping up. All of the green stocks are gapping up. Look, see a green, and we look at the main gapper scan. We've only got a handful that are actually short, that are gapping down. And right now, I don't see any on here gapping down with volume that's in our wheelhouse. This AMY and HTBX, these are low float garbage that I don't trade. So let's take a look at what we got on tap here this morning. And we can go through. Here's Apple. The last 2 days done very well on Apple because it's got down. Was looking for some more to the downside. I was not looking for a gap up this morning. but that's what we got. Not really pleased with that at all. I do think we're going to sell off some more, so I'm just going to have to hold out and, see if we can get some more momentum to the downside. All right, so SQ. SQ doesn't need a catalyst to move. You know that. It moves when it wants to. Regardless. Doesn't matter who says what. It is going to move. Let me see if there's anything that came out. Nothing from this morning. So we'll see. Let's take a closer look at this. See, and this one rebounded, had a nice bounce yesterday. But here's 64.84. Here's a daily 200. $64.84. Okay, 64.84. Here's the 200 from the daily. I need to change this to a solid line. The 200 from the daily may have some trouble getting over that. So that's the only thing that I see right now that can stop or that may stuff move today any further up. But it's worth putting on watch. We'll be watching it to see if it sets up. It's definitely going to have volume from what I can see. So the question is this going to set up? And, or are we going to be able to take advantage of it? Yeah, sometimes the gap up is an opportunity to fall. That's why we just wait for the open and, look to see what's going to happen. I don't know what it could be. And it's hard for us to determine what it's going to be. This could be it. The market could have peaked up here around, 260, 267. What was the high on it? 266, 67. It might have peaked already this morning, and we may sell off the rest of the day. We just have to wait until the open and just kind of see where the market's going to take this. We can predict and we can have a bias. I'm going to have a plan both ways. But if it's viable. But the main thing is just waiting to see what the market's going to do. And then we can position ourselves accordingly. All right, so next up, BZUN. Next one on the list. Okay, this one's one on earnings. We're gapping up pretty good. Let's make sure we don't have any. We've got all our levels marked. we had missed one right there. So we got pretty much some 1-point windows here. Not bad. Yeah, I'll trade to the long side as well on the opening range. I just like shorts. You know which ones I like. I like stocks that have gapped down to 52-week lows. The only problem is these last couple of months, these short sale restrictions has really affected my ability to trade those. There's been a noticeable change, even in the platform, that allows us, in the way it allows us to trade those. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. Plus, they just really haven't been following through. 1 in 7 follows through, and we can't have those odds. Yeah, I do use different colors for different things. Yep, I know that. That's why you see different color lines on here sometimes, depending on the daily, wherever the daily moving average is, that's what color I make the lines. So they're not always going to be the same. So, BZUN looks like it'll make the cut. FL has some volume today. Don't know if this is going to do anything. It doesn't really look promising right now. It's a good setup. We can put it on watch. But doesn't look real promising right now. Let's make sure we've got, and this did the same dance that all of the retail stocks have been doing. What it's done is it gapped down, or it's been running down and it ran down into the close. And it makes everybody think, we're going to gap down. Things aren't looking good for the company. They announce earnings. It's a good earnings beat, and wham, you got this big, gap up. That's what all of these retail stocks have been doing this for the last couple of weeks. I wish I had got back yesterday because there was a couple that I wanted to get, but I didn't get here in time. And they all did the exact same thing. But right now, I'm not really sure how much room this is going to move, how much this is going to move. But we're early. And what I do is I use these deviation bands to kind of give me an idea of what the range is going to be. And you can see how tight these are together. See, the lower band is at 52.46. The upper band, 53.54. So there's, almost a point in between there. But we've got the 50, we've got the 9, we've got the VWAP, and we've got another level here, a daily level here, all within that 1 point window. So there's not enough room for me there. So we can put this on watch. It does, have all of the qualities. We're just concerned about the potential, and that's something we have to watch for at the open. Without that, without the movement, without the opening, this thing can trade sideways all day. All right, you see PDD. This one's Chinese retail stock. Somewhat of a recent IPO from back in August. PDD, but it's still a little bit too volatile for me. I know the float's pretty decent. It made a huge move yesterday, but just not something I'm comfortable with just yet. Yeah, always trade my small account. That is the main focus. 90% of the guys that I work with in here have small accounts. They're trying to grow them, and that's what our focus is. It's a slow, meticulous process to grow it. And this summer it was really tough. I almost destroyed myself this summer. Working with $1,000 account. That was really tough, especially with how bad the market was this summer. I mean, it was probably the worst. It's the worst since I've been trading. And other people said it's been the worst that they've seen in a very, very long time. So it wasn't the best time to start, but we were able to, learn a lot of things. We exercised our discipline. Those that didn't have self-discipline and patience, it really kind of helped us get, build those skills up. And if you don't have patience and discipline, you're not going to survive. Not at all. Yeah, it's very choppy. Not a whole lot of volume. The volume was low. So we really didn't get a whole lot of activity this summer. Small accounts, actually, under 10 grand would be considered a small account. But, if you really look at it, anything under the PDT minimum, or anything under 25 grand is going to be hard. But yeah, the summer was just way too choppy, not enough volume. It looks like a lot of people took the summer off. We just didn't get the movement we needed. Now the summers are always historically slow. The summer's always historically slow, so it was just even more slow. Yeah, learning the market conditions, really learning the market cycles. If you both of the classes, we talk about the day trade and the swing trade class. We talk about the market cycles, and I've got a very simple way of looking at the market cycles. Now, if you watched, I don't know how many of you guys watched Kanal's YouTube, not his YouTube, his webinar that he did last night. And he talked about the same thing. You know, he used different terminology and he made it a little more complicated, but it's the same thing. So you have to learn those and learn when to be aggressive, when to be a little bit more conservative. Certain strategies don't work all the time. I mean, that's just trading. Oh, absolutely. It's a lot easier to make money in a larger account because it's not commissions. People put too much emphasis on commissions. If you know how to trade, commissions are a moot point. But in a larger account, you're able to incur more risk. So I could let a stock go a lot farther in a large account than I could a small account. My accuracy percentage is in the low 60s right now because of this summer. Until this summer happened, I was ranging anywhere from the mid, from the like 68% to 75-76%. In the summer times, the last couple of years, I would have dipped down to 68, 69. This year, it was like 60, 61. This summer really put a dent in it. But the only way I made it out was managing my risk. And everybody here, everybody that was in chat this summer got to see it live. They got to see the struggle. It was real. So, and it wasn't pretty. But it was, definitely it was the best teachable moment. Very good teachable moment. You learn more from your losses than you do your wins. Trade ideas. Trade ideas. That's what I use to scan with. Well, awesome. We'll be glad to have you on board. Like I said, coming next year, first of the year, we're going to kick off that virtual classroom. That's going to really add a new dimension to the classes. The first one that I'm going to do, I started the beginner class. I'm going to start it over. I've only got like 2 or 3 classes into it. So now I'm going to be able to start it over and use the virtual classroom on the beginner class. So that's going to add a whole new element to it. And it brings me back to, my teaching days. It's going to be closer related to, how I used to really teach in the classroom anyway. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Matthew, you know better than to ask that question. When have I ever asked y'all for more money? You know, once you're in, you're in. So you'll never have to pay for anything else. You know, unless you want one-on-one mentoring, that's different. But everything else is gonna be the same. You know, the only way you can leave is you get beat out. We have to beat you out. All right, so we got a small watch list here. Let me look at DE. I was kind of waiting on this to see if we were going to get some movement. John Deere has always been a good trader for me. So we're looking at it. I'm just waiting on it to get some volume. One of the only stocks that got down. So we're definitely going to be watching it. Man, it came close. 128.32 is his 52-week low. And the low on this dip here after earnings was only, a couple of dollars away. So the market may be too strong for this thing to fall, but definitely going to keep my eye on this one. So we're going to lock in our watch list, SQ, BZUN, FL, and DE. I think it was Thinkorswim, the one I told you about. It's part of TD Ameritrade. You have to you just open up a cash account with them for like $50, and you get access to the whole platform. It'll be live. If you open it up without any money, I think there's a delay. But if you open it up with like $50, for a long time I only had like $3 in that account, and I still had everything. You just gotta have a live account, and the on demand works. Oh yeah, yeah. That's going to put a wrench in that plan. Like $50. And yeah, you ask them, they may be nice and turn it on for you. For the scanner, it's on Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas is the scanner that I use. So when it fell, it ran into this pivot right here. You can see it almost, it came close. So we're going to lock this in. All right, so this is the time that I just sit back and I watch the stocks that are on my watch list. I'm just sitting back, watching them, watching what the market is doing coming into the open. I might have traded GPS once or twice. I don't really remember. But definitely the market's going, if the market is pushing up, definitely no TVIX today. Though that's something that's opportunistic. When the market is in the consolidation phase, or we're trading sideways for a couple of days in a little channel, that's not the time to trade it. That's the time you can lose money. So you got to pick the days and pick your spots. All right, so I'm watching the market. We're looking at what our trade plan could be. So I'm going to bring up a stock here in a minute. Give me a couple of minutes, and I'll come back and we can start looking at some trade plans here. Yeah, Fabio. That video is in the weekly education videos. I'll show you here in 1 second. I did it somewhere. I need to figure out where. Right here. Volatility, ETF, ETNs. And I talk about TVIX in that. I don't think I did another one. Nope. But yeah, check that one out. That should help you. It didn't take long because I didn't start trading volatility until after I was, a seasoned, consistent trader. Yeah, I already knew how to read price action and understood how the market moved. So that made it a lot better for me. Yeah, it's just screen time. You can't substitute screen time. That's why I always say you can pay these guys thousands of dollars, but they can't crack your head open and pour screen time in it. And you guys can watch, and it looks so easy watching it on a dead chart. It's so easy to learn the strategy just looking at a dead chart. Nothing's moving. The moves already happened. You can learn it. It's real easy. And it doesn't take, you don't have to invest all this money just to learn on dead charts. The only way you're going to learn is to actually do it. You learn by doing. And you learn by actually watching people do it versus just calling out trades. So that's why we do this. It's all about it's all about being able to connect the being able to connect with the fundamentals. Connect action with the fundamentals. You got to be able to execute the trades. Yeah, DVDs is worthless. You can learn the fundamentals. And see, back then when I bought the Investors Live DVD, that was it. There really wasn't anything out there. So I was, and you could learn the fundamentals. Now they've got free classes. Everybody does free classes on fundamentals because it doesn't take much to learn that. The key is being able to translate and put those fundamentals into action. And that's where the rubber meets the road. That's our focus. Yeah, it was good back in 2015 when I got it. But now it's just like anything else in this industry. That's why I won't sell a DVD or anything like that. You just have access to the class recordings, and we update them, every 6 months or so. So they stay relevant. And that's the smartest thing to do. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, so let's get logged in. Oh, the video, it's the one about ETF and ETNs. Member videos. It's called Volatility ETF ETNs. It's under the education webinars. All right, so let's look at now I use Thinkorswim for my charting and managing my trades. But since I stream my SureTrader platform, I'm gonna stream the DOS platform. So what I have to do is mark them, mark that platform so you can see the levels that I'm seeing. So we're gonna log in here. So let's look at DE first. And what I'm going to do is mark all the relevant levels that I can fit on this chart. So, and these are the levels that come directly from the daily chart. These are the pivots that we mark. And a lot of times I've traded the stock before, so the levels will already be marked on it. And sometimes there's so many, I just have to erase it and start over again. Because like if they're from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something that's not within the last 52 weeks, then I will just start over. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to get 131 on here. I'm going to go down as low as I can before it cuts me off. That's close. This is like within 15, 16 cents or so. But if this opens up to the downside, I'll be able to fill it in. And so you can see this is a perfect gap down from up here. It kind of held this support yesterday. Then we got down this morning on earnings. So if we get a move to the long side, it's going to be tough because we've got to get through the 100 period. We've got this level here, which obviously is very strong, that it held as support yesterday. It'll probably hold as resistance. So any move to the upside would be limited. So what I would want to see this do is sell off and give us a move to the downside. And so these levels here are my potential targets. 132.83 is 131. And then as the stock is trading during the day, what we're going to do is look at the price action, and if it looks like it's struggling at a whole dollar mark and it makes sense to take some profit there, then we're going to take profit. The name of the game is taking profit. It's nice to sit here and hold and hold and hold, waiting for something to go down, but you guys know how uncertain this market is. And there's no guarantee that the whole move is going to happen. So we have to lock in profit when we get it. But it does have to make sense. So that's kind of the only decision that I have to make once I get in the trade. Because once I get in, our stop's going to be in place. Our profit targets are going to be in place. And, we're going to be ready to go. So we've got DE marked up. Let's take a look at SQ. We got 64.84. That's the main. That is the main. And I'm not gonna be able to get it in there. I'll have to move this in case it pushes up. But this is the daily 200. Up here. It's at 64.84. So we know we got to keep our eye on that. If it goes to the long side, then we have a pivot here at 64.08. 62.83. We got 62.83. That's a pretty big window. 59.30. Can't put it on here, but so we got this, SQ. Now, this is one of these stocks that you would have to go in smaller size because you're going to have to give it more room. This one can put in some pretty big swings when the volatility gets high. So you got to use smaller size so you can give it more room. That's going to be the key on that. Let's see. BZUN is up next. $33.97. We got a level up here. 32.80. $31.80. It doesn't matter if it's off by a couple of cents or not. 30.30, because we're looking at these things will start firing off within 10 cents of each other. These levels, so I'm not worried about them being perfect, just as long as they're within a couple of cents. So what's up next? FL, that's the FL. And this is the one that I don't really see much movement today. But unless we get some volume and these deviation bands open up, then we got to trade here. So wait a minute. I need to check FL again. I'm missing something. I'm missing something on this. Yep. These I needed to remove because the moving averages are nowhere near there right now. These are old moving averages. I didn't update the pivots. That's what I did. I just kind of zipped through this thing. I didn't update the pivots here. So it looks like, we look pretty good. We just got a lot of support in through here. This is going to make it tricky. A lot of support has got to chew through. Excuse me. So, again, this is my least favorite out of all of them. It's my least favorite. See, we've got a nice window right here, but we got the moving averages that it's got to chew through. No, I'll do that here right at the end of the live stream. This is not a good day for us short sellers. No, around 11. Between 10:30 and 11, somewhere in there. Nathan, it depends on the time frame, but on the 5-minute chart, the 20 has gained a lot of respect lately, but you really need to respect all of them. The 9 is what we use, after we're in a trade. That's kind of what I use to, as my trailing stop. But, the 20, the 50, the 100, those are the ones that I find, pretty reliable on the 5-minute chart. The 200 as well. No, Mario, I give that away around Christmas time. I don't sell lifetime subscriptions. Those are the Christmas gift. All right, so we can sit back and wait. We got to let the first 5 minutes shake out. I know lately the 2-minute opening range has been on fire. But I just like to sit and give it the 5 minutes, and then kind of go from there. They come from the daily chart. Wow, this just absolutely insanely took off. BZUN, DE, they both just took off. I mean, so there's no way I'm going to chase them up like that. When they put in a huge candle like this, it's gonna be gonna wait for a pullback. Not gonna do any chasing. You know, this is one of the most important skills, you know, to develop is patience and self-discipline. Those are the two that you have to develop. You know, really, your natural instinct is to want to chase this thing up. You look at how strong this thing is running up, and you get in, you're like, hey, I can get in and, you know, I can get a quick point out of this. You know, you get up 50 cents and then the bottom falls out. You know, and that's extremely frustrating. So the best thing to do, what we like to do, is wait for it to give us a clean entry, a clean move. And if we don't get it, we don't trade. Just because the market is open doesn't mean you have to trade. That mentality is what wipes out a lot of accounts. Feeling that you have to trade. You know, and that's why I didn't even want to look at where I was in the small account last night. You know, I didn't even want to look at it. I don't want to know. I don't want to add anything up, because I know that if I'm close to $6,000, I would be jumping in trying to chase a stock like this. I'd be like, oh my, how far is this going to go? And I'm just going to jump in. And I end up going backwards. You know, I don't want to do that. All right, so we're coming up on 2 minutes. God dog it. SQ is on SSR, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to even catch this. All right, so let's try to. So I got an order out there. I hit my hotkey, but like I said, when it's selling off, it's not going to catch you. There we go. We finally got filled here. So let's see. Got to put my, 50 cents is my stop. $100 is my max loss. So we'll put in 50 cents. Probably should have gone with 100 shares on this, but being as how choppy it is, but we're going to give it a shot here. give it a chance to work its magic. So remember, over 63 is going to be my stop. Now, if you don't think you can manage your stop manually, then you put in an automatic hard stop until you gain the self-discipline that you need. All right, so 62 is where I want to take half. Anything close, we get under 62.05. There we go. Taking half now. So automatically I want to put my stop back in at break even. $62.60. That's a given. What that does is that protects my profit. So I want to get another piece at 60.50. So I'll put out a bid at 60.50. And we'll see if we can get a hit.
BZUN.
I mean, so it may get stuck here on red to green. You know, that's possible. But if it bounces and, you know, takes us back out at break even, then so be it. You know, that's why we lock in profit. And in the meantime, while we're trading this, you know, I'm going to keep my eyes on my DE chart and BZUN to see if they give us a pullback, you know, in a solid secondary setup. But this was a straight opening range breakdown. You know, and it's so easy when you're seeing this on a dead chart is, okay, soon as you break the opening range low, click it. It was hard to get in. You saw how long my order had to sit there before it got hit. And I use my hotkey. Sometimes that hotkey works immediately. If a stock is selling off, it's going to be hard for that hotkey to fire. A stock on SSR is only going to trigger, it's only going to trigger on an uptick. See, we're having a hard time getting through red to green here. So we can get a nice move down to the 200. We get sucked into that gravity. Should be able to get my 50 target hit. We can get sucked into the gravity of that 200. Man, if this market starts to sell off and get me out of hot water with this Apple trade, I'll be fine. But I may have to swing it for a couple of days. Come on, baby. Damn. You see how close it came? So freaking close. There we go. It came so close that time. So now I'm going to change my stop to 62, which is where my first... Oh, shoot. I should have had my bid down there. I missed that. Not to say that it would have got hit. Says we've got a lot of ways to go. And see, we're scaling out. We only started with 200 shares because, like I said, this is a pretty volatile stock. We needed to give it some room. To work. But when you get these moves, you can scale out and make money. So we're going to put our stop just back over 62 at 62.05. I think we may be bouncing here though. Anytime you get something like this, 9 times out of 10 you're going to bounce. And so, here's another decision that we have to make as traders. Do we just lock in this profit? Okay, look, we see the price action. It doesn't look favorable for an extended move down. It's favorable for this to potentially bounce. So what I'm doing is I'm watching the 2-minute chart to see if we start to make higher lows here. Higher highs and higher lows here, which could, indicate a momentum shift. And then that'll help me make my decision. I'm not going to jump the gun on it. I'm going to sit back and wait and allow the market to tell me what it wants to do. Okay, so see now this 2-minute candle, it opened higher than the low of this candle. So if this doesn't run up and stop us out, and we make a higher high and a higher low, then that typically means momentum shift and it's time to get out. Yeah, see what I mean? And how much slippage did I get? Good, no slippage. So that's that. So that's why I said typically you just want to wait. I had a profit stop in, so just locked in even more profit on the trade. It's not like I went all the way back to break even. And so we're done. So DE didn't give us a chance. FL is doing kind of what we said it was going to do. Trade sideways. You can kind of predict these things at, pre-market. And if we didn't get enough volume to move it and give it momentum, these the deviation bands tell the story. They tell the story. Let's see, BZUN, I would have needed a pullback all the way to the moving average or to this level here. And that's just me and my nature. I need to have, this is too far away for me to base this trade off of this moving average. So what I wanted to do is come back closer and at least test it. So if we don't test it, then it's no good. Okay, and the other emotion that you have to deal with is when you have a green trade. Now this didn't, we didn't win 100% on this. This was a nice trade, but it wasn't 100% winner. So now what I'm going to have to do, I'm not going to get in this right now. It would have to establish below the 20. It would have to close red. See here, these two candles, even though this candle had this huge dip, let me take this off. Even though it had this huge dip, it never did close red. So what we have to see on this now is this thing has to close red on the day. Then we've got this 200 we got to deal with. So our emotions and what you feel, you have a winning trade. I don't know how much we made, but it's we made a pretty decent amount for a 200 share position. So, look at, see, we shorted, okay, it split it into two. 62.61. We got 60 cents on our first trade. Here's a little over a point. And then we came back up with, just under 60 cents. So really nice. We didn't get the whole potential that we were looking for, but, really nice trade. But you don't want to jump in this because you had a really nice trade. You're going to want to trade. You're going to want to keep going. You want to keep adding to your bottom line. Christian, because I traded SQ. You can't trade two stocks at the same time. BZUN, the first candle was a little bit much for that stock. So we don't have a close yet below this. Now we got to close below the 200 and red to green. Yeah, I don't know about this. See, the market's rolling over now. But everything is just a little too choppy right now. All right, let's try it. It was a little bit too late. It took too long to it took too long to come out. You got to catch it on an uptick. And we just missed. That's the hard part about this. You end up missing your entry so much. It's so easy to miss your entry. All right, now Christian, let me go. I'll show you BZUN. You see how big this first 5-minute candle is? And you see how it's relative to these other candles? The only way I'm going to get in on this is on a pullback secondary move. When a candle puts in this big of a move, the opening range breakout is not in play for me. Now, even though if you got in off the candle here, the base of the candle, if you got in there, you know, this was a pretty decent, you got $1 pop right here, which would allow you to take some profit. But this is not the trade. This is not a clean ORB setup because of this huge candle right here. Now, SQ, it put in, you know, a pretty decent candle, but this stock has a history of doing that. All right, let's try it. Let's see if we can get hit on this. All right, so we got hit. Oh my gosh, it's gonna cost me some money. I don't have enough to even have 1,000 shares. This has got to be a mistake. I'm glad I got a whole bunch of witnesses on this, and it's getting recorded. And this is getting recorded. Well, no, I didn't take it. My window here is for 200 shares. Right here, my window has 200 shares in it. So I don't know how the hell it did that. So let's go on. Got to get on Sure Trader. No. Yeah, this is a classic share trader issue here. Because right now my buying power, my buying power is like negative 60,000. They're crazy. This is how you can't panic. You got to get on with your any problems you have like this. You got to get on with your broker. The good thing is this is being recorded, so I got it live and in color. So they're gonna have to fix it. And here I'm looking at a picture of this clown. All right, so now I just have to sit back and wait. Now it would be different if I had the buying power to trade this. But what I am surprised is that the risk desk hasn't killed it yet. This has happened like maybe 2 or 3 times before, and within a minute or two, the risk desk killed the trade. And then I had to fight with them not to charge me like $50, because that's what they're gonna charge you. Yeah, but that's the problem. If I did make money on this, they would take it away. On the montage, it says cancel short 200. That's what it shows. So, but the other irritating thing about this is that you can't trade. You're locked. You're stuck until they get it fixed. But they will get it fixed. Yeah, well, that's what I did too. I almost, the first time, because I didn't realize they would fix it. And I'm still on hold here. Nobody has come on. Still waiting. Still waiting.
Billy.
Next thing you know, they're gonna have okay, let's reboot this. I usually reboot it every couple of minutes. Probably shouldn't. Probably should. Man, but that sucks because that just shuts me down. Dadgummit. That's all I understand. It canceled. Right here, let me take a snapshot of it. I'll show it to you. You see, this is it right here. Says it canceled that 200 share order. No, I did not press the wrong button. I didn't press it. My order was sitting there. My 200 share order was sitting there, and then it went to, and somehow I found myself in 1,000 shares. Sure, Deandra. I wonder if they use fake names. I got Deandra this morning. Sorry to bother you. I gotta be, you kill them with kindness. They tend to work harder for you. When you're nice and you kill them with kindness. No, what the thing is, even if it does work and it does make money, they take it away. Because you know how sometimes you could get in a trade, and let's say they on those days that your buying power is messed up, and you get in using buying power that you don't have. At the end of the day, they take your money away. Now, only once did they leave the money in there. They never did take it away. But the other 2-3 times they took it back. Because legally you can't. Well, I mean, I guess you can. They could give you all of the credit they want to give you, tell you the truth. You know, like I said, you guys don't believe me. All of these platforms that everybody uses, it's basically, you know, a platform that simulates the market. And the only thing that adds value to it is the company, you know, that utilizes it. Other than that, you're just trading on something that's simulating the market. It's just like an electronic poker machine. It just simulates it. The only thing that adds value to it is when you go cash in, you know, your slip, your credit slip. And then once that happens, you know, it adds value to it. Okay, no, 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 nope, 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 nope. It's not it. I need to email them this picture. And platform cancel my 200 share. That's why I don't like using. Cancel my 200 share order and filled a 1K share order. I do not have near enough BP to fund a 1K order on SQ. Well, they can't say I used the hot, you know, I used my hotkey and it worked the first time. So I don't know how they cancel. I just had to email them that picture I took. Because it clearly shows. I mean, am I missing something? Doesn't this say cancel short 200 SQ at 61.20? And it filled me at 61.25. That's even a couple more ticks up. No, he's asleep. I had this happen one time with Speed Trader as well. but only once. But I don't trade out of them as much. As soon as it crosses 60.25, hang up. Hey, I mean, as long as they keep it running, I'm gonna manage it. And hope that they let me keep the money. I doubt it. I doubt if they'll do that though. But it would be nice if I can keep the money. But God, I mean, it's a good. One of the things that you cannot do when things don't go your way, if something happens and things get filed up, you can't come unglued, and get pissed off and I used to do that. I used to blame everybody and everything, but myself, and then don't really have any understanding of, look, you're dealing with technology, and when you deal with technology and things are gonna go wrong. I mean, I know that a lot of the stuff I designed, was centered around technology, and that's why everything that I would design had to be simple. It had to be simple, stupid, with as little of moving parts as necessary, which didn't make me popular because things weren't really complicated, but they were more reliable. And that's what I'm looking at. I need things to be more reliable, but I understand, things happen. Now, with all of the limitations and things that SureTrader tries to put on their accounts, I think they have more trouble than everybody else because of all of the limitations and things that they try to put on them. But the only thing we can do is wait. I'm just waiting it out until and then what's going to happen is once they close it, I'm going to go negative. Right now, I got negative buying power. Almost $60,000 in negative buying power. So then they're going to have to fix that. But the good thing is, we got a good trade here. We locked in a good trade this morning. Excellent. We had an issue, that we're dealing with here. So that's good too. No, no, Michael. It's just that system gets fouled up sometimes. Like sometimes during the day, after I take one or two trades, my buying power, it just keeps. What happens is it never releases the buying power from the previous trade, and then it ends up negative after I take one trade, and then I have to call and get it fixed or reset so that I could resume trading. But it doesn't matter who you go with. Doesn't matter what broker you go with. If if you can't meet the PDT minimum, you're gonna have to deal with one of these guys, whether it be Sure Traders, CME Group, Alliance Traders, TradeNet, Trade Zero. You're gonna have to deal with somebody, and you're gonna have to deal with whatever limitations they put on you. And that's just part of what you have to do. Oh no, it wouldn't be my responsibility. Every time I've had to deal with this, it hasn't. I haven't had to take the hit because it is. I mean, it's a clear cut platform failure. Oh no, you got to be kidding me. I've got the snap. Something went wrong while displaying this web page. While I'm waiting on them, I gotta reconnect again. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to be cool, but these little things. Now watch I get hooked to somebody different. All right, so let's just look around and see something. There's nothing I can do with this anymore. Let's take a look at BZUN. All right, so this one is still failing. It's just it hasn't even gotten over its 5-minute opening range high. FL. This is a 5-minute opening range breakout, but this is as weak as it can get. This is as weak as it can get. Because here's a 5-minute opening range high. Right here. I mean, this is just really choppy. So if, here, it would have been a pullback and probably would have stopped you out. Here, a pullback. This is the type price action that will just drive you insane. DE. Here was the big move here on DE, 5-minute opening range. And this did give you 3 points. So this really wasn't bad. Here's the pullback that I was looking for. Would have gotten in right here. But unfortunately, hands are tied. But this is exactly what we were looking for right here. You wait for the pullback. You don't I mean, yeah, chasing this would have been lucrative today, but look at what if you chase BZUN, look at what you would have gotten for your troubles. So this is more like what happens when you chase stocks, is you run into this scenario. So just so happened this worked. And what happens is if you jump in and you chase this and it works, then you're going to do it again and do it again and do it again. And so you can't do that. I can't believe they did that. And that would have been a nice trade. Doesn't look like it's going to make a new high though, which means we may be starting the backside of the move. What's up, Leo? Sounds like your cousin's ready to get out. They're going to have to wait a minute. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Hold on, dogs.
Rost.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, they say they're going to have it fixed here in a minute. But no trades to take. This DE would have really been nice. Just what we wanted to see on that pullback. 100% what we wanted to see on that pullback. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so this is going to wrap up my morning. Oh no, man! Sorry to hear that. I know it's tough because it's just like a family member when that happens. All right, so let's look at
TGT.
so
Rost.
uh-oh. All right, guys, this is the Black Friday special that we've got going on. This is what you get. Um, it's a yearly deal. You get a year access to
TGT.
the community, which includes access to the live trading room, all live education webinars. We have a weekly market analysis swing trade watch list session. Every Sunday morning, you have access to all the member education videos, and for the first 10 people, you get it for $2.99, and that includes 3 hours of one-on-one mentoring time. After those first 10 are gone, can't do it. So that's the special that's coming out. That's what's going to be that's what's going to be put out. All right, and that's what's going to be posted today. The link, in a little bit, it's going to be live. It's going to go live here in a minute on the website. So all you'd have to do is go to the website and click the Black Friday link, and you will be hooked up. So we're going to hang out. We're going to still hang out here a little bit longer and see what happens here. We're going to see if I'm curious as to what this SQ is going to do. No, don't do that. That means you got to take a step back and look at your and look at how you're reading price action. You know, just have to take a step back and go from there.
OKTA.
So we're gonna stay here for a minute and see what else pops off. We can hang out with me until I go to lunch. I mean, SQ really feels weak. If we lose the 200, then this thing can get going. It's got a huge window to the downside. All right, Nathan, have a good one. We'll see you on Monday. So I know this is the second time it's testing this 200. No, they're not going to restore the 200 share position. What they'll do is just kill the thing. Then I have to start over. Yeah, I'd say like, hey, I'm about to deposit some more money, so let this thing go. It's like, don't do it, don't do it. I'm depositing money right now. Shit, I don't know when the hell I give them people that much money. That'll be the day. All right, doggies. Give me a second. I gotta let my rug rats out. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming.
OKTA.
Come on, girl. Go. Yeah, that was interesting. Interesting. Man, this thing looks like a bear flag to me. I don't know about you. But the market is so wishy-washy today. Technicals may be thrown out the window. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'm sending you some money. Don't do it. Also, when things like this happen, this is good practice for when you do have a fully funded account and you're able to withstand moves like this. Like in my large account, I never would have stopped out. Technically, that this there was still a possibility that we could make this move. So I would still be holding it. So I'm still gonna manage it the way I would, if I was trading it in my main account. Not gonna change anything. Now, unless they kill it. If they just, if you see it die or just go off, it's because they took it off. But I have not been able to get hold to anybody else since I was talking to Deandra. And I got that old snap, something went wrong, and I had to reload. It's frustrating. That the dogs go outside, they acting a fool now. Okay, now after lunch, this is pretty much how it's gonna be on Friday. Friday morning, I think there's some stocks reporting earnings on Friday morning, I believe. So that would give some opportunity, but just not sure how much. Not sure how many people are gonna be in here, how much volume or volatility you're gonna have. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it at all. But I'm gonna hang on to it. I mean, there's nothing else. I missed the DE trade dealing with this. That was the other one that I was looking at. So right now, I don't see anything else that's worth even getting in. You know, who knows? We may have some breaking news after the market. Um, I'm gonna look at my earnings plays after lunch, and see how they're setting up. Now I'll be here to be able to trade them today since I don't have to take my son to school. I may go pick him up, so I'll be here for any earnings announcements today. So I said we can trade some earnings. All right, thanks, Isaac. Yeah, we'll be glad to have you in the jungle here. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom. Ba-da-ba-da.
MO.
Let's see where this bounce is gonna go. I mean everything, but this is the weird thing about SQ. It technical sometimes don't mean a damn thing on SQ. I think you got a lot of people trading it who probably don't know what the hell they're doing, and it just makes it move erratic. Unless you have people that are sitting there trying to manipulate price action and where it's going to go. don't want it. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Well, fine. Whatever you say. Ding, ding, ding. All right, guys, I think we have a boring day for the rest of the day. Pretty much what I thought it was going to be. But we gave it a chance. You know, I figured after lunch or going into lunch, that was pretty much going to be it. Volatility was going to dry up. And whatever we made that morning, that's what we made. So looking at the entries, just trying to calculate it in my head, should have made around 150 bucks. Not bad, just trading 200 shares. Especially, you know, trading on a day like today, and we didn't see much follow through in anything. I don't see a move that gave 100% clean follow through. DE did pretty good, but it just couldn't follow through on the high day break. You know, it cracked. It got up there. It had a little bit of hard time. It just kind of crept over the high day and then immediately sold back off. So this is the type price action that you're going to see. You know, typically during the holidays, you know, a day before the holiday, the day after the holidays, what you're going to have to deal with. But you can see a nice breakout. Even though we put that huge candle in, it still gave a nice little breakout, but not the ones I like to chase. Then we had to pull back to VWAP in the 9 just like I like to see. That would have triggered an entry. We barely crept over a high day and then immediately sold back off. So I don't know. But I'm just gonna hang on until they fix this. You know, eventually they're gonna have to fix it. But I don't foresee being able to take another trade today. I really don't. Might be a miracle. But, you know, like I said, to survive in this industry, you got to have patience and discipline. And then on top of that, you've got to know when it's time to throw in the towel on the day. When the day is done and there's nothing else, you got to know when to throw in that towel and just walk away. Put your money in your pocket, put it in the bank. You know, next week's going to be a full week. We're entering that period of time, you know, leading up to Christmas. We should have some good volatility, should have some pretty good opportunities. I'll still be looking for this market to do some selling. I really want to see it do some selling here. No, today looks like it's just one of those days where we're kind of in between. You know, we may go through a consolidation period before we sell off again. Yeah, may get into that consolidation. This may be an inside day, you know, where we trade inside the previous day's candle, and which will give us no guidance whatsoever as to which way this thing is going to go. All right, guys. So you guys on YouTube, thank you for coming by. Remember, if you want to join us, we got the specials going on right now. If not, you know, we'll be back at it next week. We'll probably do another sneak peek Wednesday. But hopefully you guys got to see some things. You got to learn a couple of things, kind of get a feel for how I start my day, what my thought process is, and a little bit about conflict resolution. You know, some things you just can't worry about. You can't let get to you. If you do, it'll ruin your whole day, and it can cause you to lose even more money. You know, if it's a problem that puts you in the hole. So just always take your time, think things through, and you know, keep a level head, and you're gonna be just fine. So you guys take it easy. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great Thanksgiving. And we'll catch you guys on the other side.